Hey all, Matt Long, Realtor here. Today's neighborhood tour is of Bridle Trail Estates in Summerfield, Florida, near the Villages. If you look at it on a map, this community is a large circle with a few little cul-de-sacs that spur in and out of it. So it's a giant circle, not a cul-de-sac. It's a giant circular community with little cul-de-sacs that spur in and out of it. This land over here is all owned by that first house we saw there on the left. As far as I know, it's not for sale, but this neighborhood makes up approximately 70 some lots. Most of them are built on and most of the acreage in here you're seeing is between 2 and 3 acre homes. Clearly this first one being the largest. I'm not for sure exact acreage of it, but it is large. And as we came in, we went to the left to start, and this is the first little cul-de-sac. It spurs inward. As you can see, there are a lot of set up fences, farm-like fences. The stuff that you see on, horse ranch or cattle ranch. And that's because this is one of those unique communities that is a dual zoning. So it's zoned residential. So it is a residential neighborhood. And it is also grandfathered in as with agricultural benefits. So you can have 1 horse or cow per acre. However, you're not allowed to have chickens or goats or hogs. You can have domesticated pigs that are pets that go inside, like a dog, that kind of act like a dog. Those pigs are allowed, but you cannot have farm pigs. So, one of those unique things. There's a few neighborhoods that are in and around this part. Once you start to see suburban areas move in to agricultural rural areas, you start to see some of these pop up. This neighborhood was established as far back as 1985. That's 35 years ago. It was established. One of the homes that were built in 1985 actually just sold back in November of 2019 for $229,000. It was a bit outdated. I think that's probably why it didn't sell for more. It sat on 3 acres and kind of in the corner of one of the bends, so it's a good location. There are 70 some lots in this community, like I said, and the lots that are there are not for sale as far as I know. The 3 homes that have sold recently sold for, like I said, $298,000, $240,000, and $355,000. The $289,000 and the $355,000 were 4-bedroom, 3 bathrooms, and a 3-bedroom, 2 bathrooms sold for $240,000. Again, as you can see, there's an HOA in this community. It is deed restricted, but this is one of the communities, a small community, that people hold on to the houses forever. So properties are not available in this community very often. And one sign of that I've noticed when you go into neighborhoods, you look at it and you see, okay, there's some really new renovations, and then there's some stuff that looks like it's been there for a minute. That is really common in these neighborhoods. But again, it's a quiet neighborhood, big lots. Some have barns. You're allowed to have a separate structure. And many of them do. Some of them have a whole guest house. The only restriction with that is the guest house or that separate structure has to be built are designed in the likeness of the main house. So if you're going to build an in-law suite or a guest house, as you can see, like perfect example here, right here on this home. You have the main house here, and then they have a guest house back here. But you see, they had to be made with likeness of one another. That's what they're talking about. So you're allowed to have separate structures. Again, they're large enough. The lots are large enough to do that. Actually, this lot right here, I'll kind of pivot here to the right, was the one that sold back in November. This was actually one that I had put an offer in on, and I canceled the offer. It did not work out, and he sold it for less. So, but it like many of the homes in this community, that one was built in 1985. It's here at the beginning of the community, before the villages really took off. It was here. But this is a nice, like I said, nice quiet community. What you'll notice is in a lot of the communities in this area, you don't see sidewalks. There's not a lot of sidewalks, and driveways sometimes can be an option. But although in this neighborhood, the majority of the houses have paved driveways. Most of the homes here do have a garage. It's average a 2-car garage. That one that I just showed you that I was putting an offer in on had 4. It had 4 cars for garages, 2 on the main house, and then 2 it was a workshop, a 2-story workshop. So you had a workshop down below, and you could actually have an apartment up above. But it's one of those really unique neighborhoods, and I like these type of neighborhoods, especially if you're looking for something you have. If you're looking for acreage and you're still looking for having a residential feel. So there's several neighborhoods like this around here. If you have questions on these neighborhoods or are interested in these neighborhoods or anything around this area, the villages, Summerfield, Ocala, north of Orlando, Tampa, Central Florida, or anywhere in the United States, I can definitely help you out. You can give me a call or text me at 352-403-3730. You can find me online on the interwebs at mattlongrealtor.com. Anywhere on social media at mattlongrealtor. And I'm going to start taking a second kind of a trip around there, because these are such large lots. Sometimes it gets a little tough to appreciate both sides of the street, especially when the setback for some of the houses is, you're 100 feet off of the road. So, like I said, there's only 3 recent sales there. It looked like one house was in it was a pre-listing, but nothing is active on the market right now here. That can change. And even if, let's say, I tell people this, if you see a house you like and you want to buy it, it doesn't have to have a sign in the lawn. It doesn't have to be on the MLS or Zillow or anything. If there's just a house you really like, you can always ask. So here's another property here is a good example. So you have the main house here. You have the second house here. And this is actually the garage. So it has 3 structures: a garage, a second home, like a guest house, and the main house. Again, that's allowed, all like. And it also has its own carport and then a shed, a carport and a shed. So it's a garage, a guest house, a carport for an RV, and a shed. The people that live there built that. I've talked to them before. But for example, if you were, you were interested in buying it, I would go there and I would knock on the door and just talk to them. Literally, just go up and ask them. So I know a lot of people like using online and technology. You're here on the internet or on an app watching this video. So technology is great. But sometimes just the old school way of simply knocking on a door and asking questions is the way to do it. So I don't mind if there is any particular house that you had your eye on, or a neighborhood. It doesn't have to be on the market. I don't monitor homes that are just on the market. There's many homes that I'll go to. Maybe the owner wants to sell it themselves, or maybe it's in a situation where the family's dealing with a loss and it's going through probate. Those things aren't listed anywhere. So, but then again, those aren't listed on the market or off market, but there's an interest for the owner of the home to sell, or the heirs of the home to sell the home. I just want to help make sure I can help out whoever needs help with their real estate needs. So if you have literally, say you're thinking of moving anywhere and you need help finding a realtor, we have offices literally all over the United States and the world. So if you even need help finding a realtor that specializes in your area, call me, text me. I'd be more than happy to do that, because this way I can help make sure from my end that I'm helping you find the best quality person for you. So again, you can call me, text me, 352-403-3730, on the internet, online at mattlongrealtor.com, or on social media at mattlongrealtor. So be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification button so you see the new videos that I put up. We'll be doing some new tip videos here pretty soon as well. Like, subscribe, share on social media, heart, emoji, all that good stuff. All right, I'm out.